we're looking at 1.3. I can use proportions to solve for the missing side of similar figures. A lot of what we're doing today we looked at yesterday as well. So this is kind of just an extension of what we did in our activity in class. Well, I guess today, Tuesday. So now we're solving for those missing sides. Okay? The biggest thing to do is start by identifying your corresponding sides with those letters, right? So we have A to C. This side matches with VW, this side. There's nothing on those sides, so not super important. CD and WY. C to D and W to Y. Those go together. DF and YZ. So D to F, I'm going to put a square on that, and Y to Z. And then my two remaining sides are 12, right, these two. A to F. A to F. B to Z. Have all sorts of different figures. Okay? So the easiest thing to do is really start by identifying which sides go together so that you're very careful and don't accidentally mess anything up. Alright, then we are solving for x. So x is this side here. When I'm solving for a specific side, I always like to start with the variable that I'm solving for. So x and 10 go together. And then I need to set it equal to something else. I'm going to choose these blue sides. Why am I choosing those sides? Well, these don't have anything on them, so I can't do anything. And then the pink ones have another variable in it, and I can't solve things with both an x and a y. So I want the two that are just numbers. Now I have to be careful, right? What number goes on top should be the same from the same figure as this. So I'm going to put the 9 on top because the x is on top. And then over 6. Now this should be easy. I'm just cross multiplying. So I have x times 6 equals 10 times 9. So 6x equals 90. Our variable is here, so we're going to divide by 6. These cancel. 90 over 6 is 15. Move this up a little bit for our next one. Easy enough, right? So once you've set it up, it's exactly like what we did on our first day, right? Looking at number 2, now I'm finding y. Again, I like to start with my variable that I'm trying to solve for so I know that it gets in the problem. So I'm going to start with this 3y minus 1 on top over 12, right, because those go together. Then, for the same reason, I'm going to use the 6 and 9. That's where the numbers are. However, this time, since I started with this y, which is in the bottom shape, I need to start with 6, because that's in the bottom shape. So it's going to be 3y minus 1 over 12 equals 6 over 9. Then, parentheses, because there's a subtraction sign, I'm multiplying. Times 9 equals 12 times 6. My first step is to multiply, so here I do have to do my distribution. So we have 9 times 3y is 27y. 9 times 1, so minus 9, because it is negative 1, equals, and then 12 times 6 is 72. My next step to solve this is to add 9. So now we have 27y, right, because those cancel, equals 72 plus 9 is 81. And then I'm going to divide by 27 because this is where my variable is. Right? And we divide by 27, those cancel, so I'm left with y. 81 divided by 27 is 3. Okay. So x equals 15 and y equals 3. All right, looking at our next problem, very similar. Find the value. Okay, I'm going to start by doing the same thing. First we have JL, then Q to S. So if I go J to L, that's this side. Q to S is this side. It did cut it off on yours, and it looks like that's supposed to be a 5. So go ahead and write that 5 in on your paper since it got cut off. Then next I have LM and ST. So L to M and S to T. So those two sides go together. And then finally we have an M and a J and a T and a Q. So M to J is this side, T to Q is this side. Alright, solving for X. X is in my blue side here. So I have 6x minus 3. I'm going to put it over the other blue side, so over 3. And then the next number I'm going to use is the green numbers because they're both numbers. If I look at the red, one of them has a variable, so I don't want to use that when I've already used a variable. So I'm going to use these two. I started on this shape, so I have to choose that 4 first. Over 2. So, don't forget my parentheses, and then I'm cross multiplying. So I have 6x minus, sorry about that, 6x minus 3, right, times that 2. Then cross multiply this way, and then 3 times 4. Again, first step with this one now, again, is going to be distributing. So we have 12x minus 6 equals 3 times 4 is 12. Here's our variable. So we're going to get rid of this plus 6 first. These cancel. I'm left with 12x equals 18. Again, here's our variable. It has a 12 with it, so we're going to divide by 12. Again, these cancel, so I'm left with x equals 18 over 12 reduces to 3/2. You know, I use a calculator to get that. Again, 18 divided by 12 gives me 3/2. If you're using a calculator other than the ones we use in class, make sure you know how to switch to fractions, and if you don't, make sure you ask. Alright, for B, finding y, this problem you're going to try for extra practice. Okay. You should get the answer of, y equals 4. So I would try that one. Make sure you understand what you're doing and come in tomorrow. If you did not get y equals 4, ask first thing while you're working on your bell ringer what went wrong. Okay? All right, go ahead, turn to the next page. If triangle STU is similar to triangle, what is it, SEF, find the value of x. So again, I'm going to start by getting what things go together. So I have ST and SE. So S to T is this side. Oh my gosh, this thing is killing me. ST is this side, and then SE is this side. And then we have TU and EF. So T to U. Oh, there's nothing there. And E to F. And then SU and SF. So SU, SF. So when I'm setting this up to solve for x, my x is here on this green one. So I have 5x minus 10 over 24 equals, and then I want to use my red sides because I have nothing on my blue sides. 5x minus 10 is in this top triangle, so I'm going to use 50 first over 15. I'm also going to tell you to try this one, solve for extra practice, if you feel like you need extra practice with just solving. Okay. And you should get an answer of, you should get an answer of x equals 18. Okay, so if you want to try that, if you're still struggling with solving our proportions, go ahead and do that. All right, if we look at example 4, example 4 has triangle ABE, which is this triangle here, A to B to E, okay? And I'm actually going to redraw that, it has a Y here and a 5 here. Okay, we need to be careful when there's two triangles on top of each other. Then we also have this triangle, ACD, A to C to D. A to C we know nothing about, C to D is 20. And then if we look here, this is this whole side. The biggest mistake is students just write down 4. But I go 4 and then Y, or Y and then 4, which technically means I'm going Y and then 4 more. So the side of that triangle is Y plus 4. So now, A to B, A to C, there's nothing on those sides. B, E, and C, D. And then A to E, and A to D. If we set this up, right, we have to, like I said, I like to choose the variable first. And this one, the variable is in 2 places. So it doesn't really matter which one I choose. So I'll do Y over Y plus 4. And making sure I put parentheses around that. And then my next one, right, I'll do 5 over 20. Then, cross multiplying, I have Y times 20 equals Y plus 4 times 5. Y times 20 is 20Y. Distribute 5 times Y is 5Y plus 20. Right, 5 times 4. So I have a variable in 2 places, so I need to get rid of one of them. So I'm going to subtract 5y from both sides. That gets rid of that completely. So now I'm just going to... 20 minus 5 is 15y equals, I just have 20 left. Now, my y is here. So that means I have to get rid of that 15. Those cancel. and I'm left with y equals 4/3. Alright. Let's look at our word problems. Again, our word problems are similar to what we did with our ratios. I sometimes find it easier to draw a picture, but kind of use what we did before, where we write what the ratio is going to be. So a 1.8 meter tall person standing next to the Washington Monument casts a 0.7 meter shadow. So here's my person. Here's the Washington Monument. So my person is 1.8 meters tall and has a shadow of 0.7 meters. Now we know the Washington Monument casts a shadow that is 65.8 meters. How tall is the Washington Monument? So that's where my x is going to go. Okay. Well, these are both heights, and these are both shadows, so they go together. Okay? So now I'm doing the same thing. X over 1.8 equals 65.8 change colors over 0.7. Cross multiply. We get 0.7x equals 1.8 times 65.8 is 118.44. Then we're going to divide by 0.7, so that's where our x is. Those cancel. And that rounds to 169.2 meters. Again, only in word problems do we really keep it as a decimal. Otherwise, we like them as fractions. But again, once you have the picture, it's exactly the same as what we did before. Alright, example 6. Before rock climbing, Darius wants to know how high he will climb. He places a mirror on the ground. Here is our mirror on the ground. 34 feet from the base of a cliff. Here's our cliff. So we know this distance is 34. He then walks backward until he can see the top of the cliff in the mirror. So Cliff walks this way, and now he's standing over. Darius walks this way, and he's standing over here. What is the height of the cliff? That's our question. If Darius is 5.5 feet tall and is 6 feet from the mirror. So again, these are both heights. And then these are both distances from the mirror. So these go together and those go together. I keep hitting that, I apologize. Now, again, we're just solving. X over 5.5 equals 34 over 6. Alright, again, we do 34 over 6 because we chose this x first, so we have to choose this side first. X times 6 equals 5.5 times 34. We have 6x equals 5.5 times 34 is 187. $187 over 6 equals 31.2 feet. Don't forget your units. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.